Man bites dog. Woof, woof, woof. Man bites dog. Woof, woof, woof. Spoiler alert, he doesn't really bite a dog, but he really shoots a baby. Look at the pacifier. Or does he really shoot a pacifier or a baby? Look at the blood. Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer guy of all sorts and places and things and relatives with my brother Josh here to help review number 165, Remy Belvaux, Andre Bonzel, and Benoit Poelvoord's Man Bites Dog. Oh boy. Oh brother is right. Let's see, 92 minutes, 1992, 96 minutes, French, black and white. Oh man, what a dark one. I mean, when Josh told me about this one, I mean, first of all, I told him that this one was in. He was like, "Oh man, I gotta see that one with you again," because you had it. You worked in a clothing store.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Initially, when I initially saw half of the movie up to that boxing scene, I saw that long time ago, but I never finished it. And then I worked in a clothing store where they had it on VHS, and I watched the entire thing. And I remember being very like, "Whoa, is someone gonna walk in and watch me watching this?"
It's like I was gonna say, it's like this is not the movie you play in public.
I know. It was pretty scary.
Wait, where did you see it? Where would you see it? Like before you worked it?
I just saw it around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's talk about this movie because this is a trip. It is a fake documentary, a mockumentary, if you will, about this film crew who film this guy named Ben or Benoit, who is a serial killer. He goes about killing people, and they film him the killing, and then they also film his more human side. They show his mom and his grandparents, his girlfriends, and meanwhile, and they intersplice really quick shots of like his killings, his gutturals. I forget what they're called.
I don't know either. Whatever.
The piano wire,
strangulation, basically.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, and of course the shootings, and after a while you do have to remind yourself that it's just a movie because they make it look real. And I was looking at the thing like, this is real. This is not a real. This is fake, right? So. Anyway, he's a very charming serial killer, as most serial killers tend to be portrayed in movies. He goes about, has there's a method to his madness. He explains how these thoughts. There's one scene where he goes to this old woman's apartment and he kills her just by frightening her because he sees that she had a heart problem, and so he just pulls out his gun and yells at her.
And then she just basically has a heart attack, and so he's able to save a bullet.
Yeah.
And
And it's like, oh my god, this is crazy. There's another scene where he kills a black watchman, and he's kind of a racist xenophobe or something. Is a xenophobe the term?
He's just he kind of just embodies that kind of bigoted sort of nature.
He ends up he tells the film crew to pull down his pants to see if he's well hung, and it's just and I was just groaning all the way. And then later on and eventually we see the film crew get more and more involved with his killings, like they help him they help him asphyxiate a young boy, and they help him catch him, and they help him find this guy that was shooting at him, and a recurring thing that happens is they keep losing members of their film crew who keep getting shot. Usually I think it's the sound men who keep getting shot.
Yeah.
Patrick, and so Remy has to do a passionate plea to their girlfriend, who I think they have the same Marie Palou.
Yeah,
it's the same name of
for
Patrick, and then there's the other guy. I forget the second guy's name, but and then later on, then they get drunk, and and then other things happen, and it gets really bad. But and then toward the end, Remy is also, not Remy, Benoit. Benoit is also a boxer, and he gets punched, and like he goes to the hospital and he has like a neck brace, and he comes out and they celebrate his birthday, and he ends up shooting one of the guys, I think, for kissing Valerie. I think it's probably
he's just like he doesn't. It seems as though he doesn't really like the guy anyway to begin with, and the dude's
it's like
just
his boxing manager, I think.
Yeah, I think, and the dude's just kind of setting him off that night, and so he just like loses it on the guy.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that the filmmakers got him a what is it, the holster anyway.
Yeah, the gun.
So hey, I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah.
But they keep having the party. There's like silence for like 30 seconds of silence, and then they just what was her name? Marie, I think, just keeps giving him the party.
Yeah, it gives him
blood is on her face, and it's just like, ooh, that's so chilling. But yeah, no. Toward the end, it gets darker and darker, and he ends up trying to kill this old man in a neck brace, and the man ends up getting away, and so I think he ends up like telling the police, and Benoit gets arrested, but he breaks out, and he goes by Valerie's place, and I think she's dead.
She's dead.
Was she wasn't murdered though? I don't think. No, did she kill herself? I guess.
No. It's supposed to be what happened is that
I missed that whole part. Yeah.
Someone who was basically after Benoit.
Yeah.
Sexually abused her and killed her with the flute that she had been using. That it was kind of a common recurring theme throughout the movie was her flute. Yeah,
because he's a musician too. We didn't mention that. But,
and so they killed her.
But then he ends up going to kill his mom too.
No. He goes.
Oh, he goes to check on her.
On his mom.
Oh.
Because after he sees that Valerie's gone, he's just like.
I just thought that he just lost everything and that he had to kill her himself.
No.
It was all then that makes the ending way more. That makes way more sense to me then. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because I wasn't sure. I mean, because it's like he's tearful, but at the same time, I don't know if he's tearful because he feels like he has to do it because just because of where his life has gone.
No. Yeah.
But anyway, and at the end, we do usually spoil the movies too. I failed to mention that to him. There are certain movies when I don't tell the ending just because it's
like such a huge.
It's hard to subscribe to. It's hard to describe the endings too sometimes.
Yeah.
So but this one, he goes back to where the film crew go back to this scene earlier in the film with like this like abandoned place.
It's his hideout.
His hideout, yeah. And they recite this poem about pigeons, and an off-camera gunman kills Benoit, Remy, and the sound man as he tries to. You see that like the film slows down, and you see the sound man drop the camera and run away, and he gets shot too. And then there's silence for or sounds of the plaster,
pigeons.
The pigeons. Yeah, that's what it is. The pigeons, the plaster, and then it cuts to white, and that's about it. And so that's Man Bites Dog. Really, that's the film. It's dark. It's a black comedy.
It's really great, satirization.
It's also, it's an interesting lesson in morality too. With the fact that the camera crew eventually gets in on it.
For me, one of my favorite parts of it is after the first sound guy dies, right in that scene, and Remy's really teared up about it and everything.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing that they ever do to help him is it's really quick where he's like, here, grab his legs, where he asks them to grab the cab driver's legs, and it's done so quickly that they just don't really think about it and they just do it, but that's kind of the start of everything.
Gosh, I don't think this movie is one of those movies that you have a favorite scene or anything
it's not really
like that.
A favorite thing. It's just,
Benoit's personality overall is just kind of humorous and bizarre. And I don't know, it's just kind of it was fun at first, but toward the end it just gets a little too weird at the end. Toward the end, I thought the game with the olives was kind of cool. The dead baby thing, baby boy. It's an interesting little game that they play. But yeah, so yeah, originally I told Josh that I wasn't going to give this a B minus because of the ending, but now that I kind of, now that we have this realization
Mhm.
that that it's that there's an unknown person coming to get all of Benoit's characters. I mean, people in his life. I can give it a little higher. I mean, because of that one gang rape scene, I can't really give it I can't give it an A.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. It's just
even who cares if they were drunk,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
just
a little too much for me too. Give it a B plus. I'll just give it a B plus because it wasn't too long. It wasn't horrible, but in the end, it was just a little. In the end, it did get a little too violent and crazy for my taste.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for that. That's it for that B plus. Would I recommend it? If you're into fake documentaries, especially ones with about a slightly humorous take on documentaries, or like how dark a documentary can get, then Man Bites Dog is your boy. Yeah, so that's it. B plus. I'd check it out at least once, just to see what it's all about.
You don't really need to see it more than once.
You don't really know. I'm probably not going to see this again unless, I don't know. Anyway, supplements. There are stills. There's some stills from behind the scenes. There's a 10-minute interview with the filmmakers, which was done in '93. I guess it was done. It said it was done specifically for the Criterion Collection, which means that if it was done in '93, that meant that it was done for the Laserdisc edition for this. It was probably done for the Laserdisc edition. And they basically talk about the the making, and they talk about how it was. They felt it was more about the the making of a film rather than the violence and all that. And Benoit talks about how he got into his character and all that. So then there's a short film that they did in a few years before Man Bites Dog called No C4 for Daniel Daniel, which is a 12-minute like parody on like those trailers for like secret agent films and
action movies.
Yeah, it's like all the cliches. Like Daniel is like a really pompous kind of guy, and he's very dramatic, and he has a black servant who's just one of the actors in blackface.
Yeah.
And he has a sexual relationship with him, and he ends up dying and all that. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's also got a lot of like touches of humor and a little slapstick and all that. So
it's a lot lighter than the actual.
Yeah, but you can see where they're coming up to Man Bites Dog. Yeah, I like when they create when Criterion gets the short films. Like it's the same way with you got to see George Washington and Ratcatcher. Those are two I just recently watched, and the director's short films are George Washington, you might recognize David Gordon Green. He directed a Pineapple Express. Yeah, but George Washington is not a comedy. It's funny in that like his early films are not necessarily the stoner comedies like Pineapple Express or Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool to see the early films, and his early films are like what built up to George Washington. The same way with Ratcatcher and Lynn Ramsey. She hasn't directed a lot of films, but I don't know if you've heard of We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she directed that, and it's got John C. Reilly in it too. Yeah. So so that's the one that probably her most famous like American film, or like a film that most American audiences would know. But yeah, like her short films build up to Ratcatcher. So with this one, it's kind of with no C4 for Daniel Daniel. It's not a direct. You can see where they were going with Man Bites Dog, but it's still a nice little touch, the parody and all that, the parody of documentaries, there's a parody of secret agent films. So anyway, and then of course there's a trailer, and yeah, that's about it. So anyway, that's Man Bites Dog, B plus. Check it out. Unless you're squeamish, then don't. Okay, all right. All right. So that's it for us today. Thank you, Josh, for doing this review with me. Thank you so much.
I will be back.
Be back in a couple of weeks for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, number 175.
It will be backcountry.
Yes. And then, of course, you'll be back for House.
Oh, yeah.
House and Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, and Antichrist. You're gonna do Antichrist with me. You keep talking about that damn movie. And and Harold and Maude too.
Oh
Harold
yeah,
and Maude that one's in it.
Amazing.
And there's another one that we bought. No, I think that was it. Yes, and then I'm sure there's probably a couple others that I'll mention. That Life Aquatic, yeah. Maybe Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yes, you'll get
Wes Anderson.
probably me and Caitlin for that.
Darjeeling Limited? No, you haven't seen that one.
I think I have. Okay. Yeah, I'd do that one as well.
All right, well, we'll see. Yeah, that's about it. So, and yeah, if we think of any others, I'll let you know. So, like I said, we're not sure about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm gonna try to do. I wanted to look up, the supplement ideas before I did this one, so I could like seal the deal as to when we'd be doing Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. But we've got a lot of long movies coming up. Down by Law. There's a chance I might do this one tomorrow morning, but I'm not sure. Probably not, because of just. I've got a whole morning ahead of me before I go to work, so I could possibly get this over with, but I'll have to see how much the supplements are, honestly. But more than likely, we won't get this one until Sunday, the first Sunday of April. And then after that, we got Monterey Pop, and I'm really excited for this one because Jimmy and Otis and all these artists. And then Trouble in Paradise is on its way. Pepe Le Moco, Contempt, Life and Death of Colonel Blimp is here, of course. Still gotta, maybe I'll go to the library later and get the others. And then Band of Outsiders, and then Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. So, like I said, maybe I'll go if they're in, I'll go and get them, and then I can see what the supplements are like, or I'll just check the website. It'd be easier, and then hopefully I can plan ahead and if I think I can get it done before because they're going out of town, or he and his girlfriend are going out of town in a couple of weeks. So,
nothing.
Life, yes.
Yes.
Life bleeds into these reviews.
Yes.
So, so if I can double down on these reviews, then maybe I'll try to get at least Josh back for the next review, or for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, rather. Mm-hmm. And but we'll see. I'll let you know about Down by Law. Hopefully, either you'll see me tomorrow. So, yeah. But anyway, thank you for watching. Morals. We usually come up with a moral of this film. Oh, well, this one's too easy. Don't kill people.
I was going to say, don't shoot.
Don't kill people. Don't rape people. Don't be a racist. If you're a film crew, don't help help them shoot people. If you're a film crew, don't help rape people. Don't get drunk with your people, and don't get killed too. That's the morals. That's the easiest. That one's really easy morals. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you either tomorrow or Sunday for Down by Law. Oh man. This is another Fishing with John, then, oh man. Anyway, it'll be fun. Anyway, thanks again. Thank you for watching. Thanks again, Josh, and we'll see you soon for Down by Law, and we will see you for Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. Until then, goodbye.